Welcome to Flex Your Feelings, the mental health and wellness podcast, episode 2. I'm James, a almost sane therapist, and I'm joined by my legend of a co-host, Sam, a self-confessed former all-round insecure idiot. Hi.
Hello, mate. Episode 2, take 2.
This is episode 3, technically, because we've just done episode 2. And, I mean, you can tell our lovely listeners what happened, Sam.
Yeah, I mean, someone may have moved their chair a little bit.
Someone.
Disconnected the microphone.
Yeah.
So we'll say the audio file was corrupt due to operator error, shall we say. Yeah.
Where did you pluck that
Look,
one?
mate, I fucked up, all right?
Leave me alone.
Yeah. I mean, it's
no,
good practice.
I'm going
Good
to tell
practice,
my
right?
version. Sam moved his chair and fucked everything up.
Yeah, we'll go with that one. Hey, look,
So we had that
I am
wonderful...
all about owning accountability. So, that's what I tell people to do that come work with me. So, yeah. I fucked
You've
up.
got to
mate.
role model that, haven't you? And I think it's helpful for people to understand that in the world of podcasting, a lot can go wrong.
Yeah, and a lot has so far. So we're learning real quick.
I mean, and I'm ashamed to say that actually, so much of the content that's been lost was a top quality, I would say. I mean, I feel really gutted for everyone listening that they don't get round 1 of that conversation. So let's go for round 2.
That's something I've never heard before.
Really amp it up. What?
Round 2.
What does it usually round 1 and that's it?
Yeah, my reload's all right.
I don't know what territory we forward into now. But...
No, yeah, that's but that's about the that's what we said about this podcast. Serious subjects, but it doesn't have to all be like it's so serious.
No, because that's not me or you.
It's definitely not me.
Definitely not you.
Yeah, definitely not. So,
I mean, I'm probably the more serious one.
Really?
Yeah, I would say.
Probably that probably speaks volumes, to be quite honest.
But we're still getting to know.
And that's
each other.
probably just because you're older.
I'm not okay with the sort of age-related jokes. I'm just putting out there.
Oh, well, I wasn't joking. It was a fact.
It was harsh,
So-
is what it was, and I'm not okay with it.
You've gained more life experience, so you're like wise.
How many years exactly are there between you and I?
33.
Okay, so I'm going to
You
use
keep
my.
saying early 40s.
I'm not yet 41 in June.
So you're, like when you say early 40s, everyone's like 43, 44. You're doing yourself a disservice there.
That's
like
true.
just turned 40.
Yeah, I like that. I'm gonna steal that from now on.
Do it.
So, what is the episode about today? We're going to be talking about party culture.
Yeah, party culture, party lifestyle, and how it can have an effect on your mental health.
Or does it have an
Does it
effect
have an
on
effect
mental
on your
health?
And like our experiences, like we in the episode 1 like intro sort of thing, we touched on like that lifestyle being a huge factor in why I had to change my lifestyle and then become this version. You spoke about your story, so it's kind of like let's delve a bit more into it. Like party lifestyle. Ask you the question: do you think the party lifestyle has had a impact on your mental health?
Yes.
End of episode.
Okay, let's wrap that up.
Yeah,
Thanks,
there you go.
everyone.
Yeah, I mean that just got into a 90-second reel, so we're all good there. We can post that shit.
God, we're good at this, aren't
Yeah. And funnily enough, that episode was longer than the last one we recorded.
we? Wow. God, we're firing on all cylinders. Right. I definitely think that party culture, as we're naming it,
Yes.
has had a significant impact on my mental health. I'm just putting myself back into the mindset of when I first started drinking. And I'm not saying that drinking has to be synonymous with the party lifestyle, but for me, that was when I first realised that, the sort of social culture outside of family was in a pub,
Yep.
right? And then I started drinking, and very quickly it became a part of my weekly routine. And I always feel that on some level I had a sense of drinking for me was covering something up ultimately because I felt quite insecure about who I was. But when you get that first taste
Yep.
of a drink and then you're watching everyone else around you having a good time and they then have another drink and another drink and another drink and all of your friends are gathering in a pub, it very quickly becomes the norm. But I definitely think with hindsight that it was a very impactful time for me, because when it moved from the pub culture to the club culture and being gay, for me, I was immersed very quickly in the clubbing scene. I definitely felt that I found myself in a situation where I was leaning on alcohol to give me courage and confidence and to help me feel like I fitted in.
Yeah.
Because I didn't feel like I fitted in at all for so many reasons. I felt like I was an outsider. But in terms of my mental health, I think there was an underlying sense of low self-worth to begin with. And then that was exacerbated by drink and partying and getting on it and sessions and just staying up until 6, 7 in the morning and then repeating the night after, or the hangovers. All of that for me over time, I think, really did start to erode away at my sense of self. And it was fragile to start with, but it really was a learning experience, I would say, going through what I thought I needed to be doing and who I needed to be to fit in. Just thinking about the amount of alcohol I consumed, the hours spent in a club feeling insecure, but feeling like I had to be there, because if I wasn't there, then I wasn't being gay properly. Or
Really?
I didn't feel like I was going to. Well, I'd be even more of an outcast if I didn't partake in that kind of lifestyle.
Yeah. So how old were you when you came out?
I was about 16.
So, like, obviously, I'm straight, you're gay, so, you know, I can't really resonate. But you said about identity. I can imagine. So, did you drink and did you enter that party lifestyle thinking because you had to? Because that's what everyone did. Like that, you know?
Yeah.
I'm a young gay guy, like, to socialise, to meet new people. That's where I'm going to meet them. So, in order to do that, like you said, it depends on what you perceive party lifestyle as, but you and I both have grown up in a generation that if you party, you get pissed. So the two and two go together, right? So you had to feel like you get pissed to put yourself into that situation to then, did you create a different version to like help yourself become that person in those like sort of situations?
I think I definitely engaged in clubbing and getting pissed because I don't even know how it became that way. It was just the done thing. You come out.
It's such a shit statement, isn't it?
Yeah.
Everyone's doing it.
But it is true. I came out and I was like, right, well, now what do I do? Okay, I'm a new gay on the block, so I'm going to go clubbing.
J-Lo.
So I'm going to go straight out to a club. And even now to this day, I think it's powerful how much of the social culture is centered around drinking. But when I was sort of 17, 18, 19, I went out as a very insecure individual, thrown into an environment that's hugely loud and vibrant and leery and raunchy and gritty. And I was like, fucking hell, I don't belong here at all.
Really?
So I just drank to fit in. And it was definitely a crutch for me. I felt so insecure about so many things, about how I looked and who I was, and I was looking to everyone else. How do I be a good gay, I guess? And alcohol was an integral part of that. And the amount of time I'd invested over my 20s and early 30s in staying out until 5, 6 in the morning, any day that ended in a Y was a drinking day. Everything was centered around getting pissed all the time.
Yeah.
And none of it was about who you were as a person. It was just camaraderie and let's get together and get pissed. And in my experience, you know, adding in the layer of the sort of the gay community as well, it was just I was very much entrenched in shame all the time. I think I just didn't feel good about myself. Yeah.
So like going back to like obviously like the actual mental health side of things, like it's funny because growing up, like there's a few years between us, right?
I've re-established how many. I'm going to have to count on my fingers. Maths is not great. Can you do the maths in your head?
No. Yeah, well, nearly 8.
As good as.
Right. But, you know, like generationally, not too far apart, like we probably grew up doing similar things in terms of, like you say, feeling like you got to get pissed to go party.
Mm. Yeah, that's not exclusive to being gay, but...
No, of course not. No. But, like, nowadays, you know, I think everybody knew it back then. Like, getting fucked up, like it's going to affect your mental health, right? Staying up, like everyone's like, it's a bit of a trend at the minute. Like, make sure you get your 8 hours sleep and all that. And then there's contradictory things about sleep, but lack of sleep, it's going to fuck you up. Like, so all these things that
It's going to fuck you up.
it's going to fuck you up. But it's like all the things that we associated with that party lifestyle, getting pissed and stuff like that, because we wanted to have a good time and put ourselves in situations where we felt, for want of a, quote, comfortable, when in reality we probably didn't, but, you know, we did those things to create those versions of ourselves. All those things that we did are now, like, all the studies are coming out now, and it's like, everything you did in your 20s is so detrimental to your mental health. And it's like, I think everyone knew that anyway, but we just maybe didn't want to see it.
It was like a silent, not silent, but quieter voice in my mind. It was like, this isn't really you.
Really?
But I pushed through it and did it anyway because everyone else was doing it.
Well, yeah, like it's against the grain, isn't it? Like, you know, if you're a young guy that's come out and you're trying to fit in anywhere. If you're trying to fit in somewhere, I mean, you're probably not going to then sort of be that guy and go, actually, I don't want to be like you. Like, I don't want to be normal, because you're.
You don't own up to the fact you don't fit in. No, you don't own up to the fact that you feel insecure. You just do what everyone else does.
Yeah, and was it like you seeking almost? I mean, I don't know what it was like growing up as a child. Probably like knowing that you were gay, like thinking, well, I don't fit with this group. I don't fit with that group. So then, when you do find the group that you're, quote, supposed to fit in with, it's like, well, I'm going to do anything I can to be accepted, because are you seeking that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You're looking for where you fit in, and you're looking for that acceptance and that validation. But it's equally as critical and judgmental, it can be, in the gay community as it is in any other community. So I was in my community where, you know, my family and friends, and then I, you know, chose to tell everyone that I was gay. And then it was, you know, an extension of moving from that into the gay community, and I thought, I'm going to feel instantly better and accepted, but it wasn't the case. It was actually, well, this is just another layer of feeling not good enough.
Yeah.
So and drink played a big part in me numbing that for myself, I think.
Yeah, a little bit self-soothe. Well, I mean, it's a story of a lot of people, like, especially myself. But so how long, so let's say you turn 18, maybe you went out earlier, illegally. But
shock.
Underage drinking. But yeah, so let's say 18, you just talked about your 20s and your 30s. Like, how long did that, like the potential negative party lifestyle last? Was it literally, like you just said, like nearly 2 decades?
Yeah, I would say so.
And I mean, so something you've done for nearly 20 years, like we spoke about, to get better at something is through repetition, right? So you're doing something that you know is negative to your mental health, but you're doing it in a day, like you quote you, in a day that ends in Y. Like, so 20 years nearly doing the same shit that you know's fucking you up. But but you're going to continue to do it because you're like, because it's like that. What's better here? To recognise that I'm not enjoying this, or to fit in? And then there's that social pressure, peer pressure, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. I think the older I got, the louder that other version of me got, where they wanted me to sort of take a very careful look at what I was doing.
Banging on the door on the inside going, mate, wake the fuck up. Like, I'm hurting in there.
Don't go out again and get wasted. Yeah. Stay in. Like, get an early night. Read a book. But I think there was FOMO a lot of the time as well. And also that if you didn't go out, you were kind of some sort of social leper. What do you mean you're not coming out? You know, you'd get pressured. And I remember, like in my 20s in particular, I lived around the corner from a club which had a gay night every Thursday. And I'd start to say to myself, no, just have a night in. It's not a problem. You don't need to get pissed tonight. You don't need to go on it. Just stay in and enjoy some nice food and get an early night. But I was almost compelled to, at the last minute, cave and put on my going out clothes, and
You were
I'd
going
be
to say glad rags. Then,
glad
weren't you?
rags. Put on the glad rags.
But then you thought, no,
Put
we're
on
only talking about
my best
age.
party
I
clothes.
don't want to come across as even older than 14.
and go to a disco.
Yeah.
No, and before you knew it, I was out like down in the double vodkas
Straight away.
because I was in a battle with myself.
Yeah.
You know, but I definitely feel that, like you've alluded to already, the fact that it sort of grows. I didn't know really that it was damaging to start with. I thought it was normal.
Yeah, and I think it is. Like, define normal, right? But, you know, we're not saying don't go out and drink.
No.
This isn't a sober podcast. This isn't about, you know, like, we'll touch on it in a bit for me, but yeah, I'm sober, but you're not. Like, you know, but you got to the point where you can enjoy a nice glass of red or whatever, like, might be your.
How did you know?
No, mate, I know you. I do my research.
I love a glass of red.
Yeah. And I miss that so much, but you got to the point now where you can do that. But like, that's what I say. We're not saying like, right, don't go out, don't go party, but
We're not saying partying is wrong or bad or unhealthy.
fucking great.
Yeah.
Like, we've said that partying for me, for you, growing up was get pissed, get drunk, get blotto. I mean, how many nights you gone out where you don't remember what the fuck you done? But
Sadly, not many. I didn't have that amnesia.
Oh.
I always used to remember everything, which is where the beer fear and the anxiety and the shame came in the next day.
Yeah, I mean, I wish I didn't remember some of the stuff, but then I also wish I remembered when you see someone the next day and they're like, do you know what, right? I used to remember going into like a gym on a Monday and you'd see people that you'd seen on a night out and they go, mate, you were fucked the night before. And I'm like, well, that was the idea, wasn't it? It wasn't, and it was only when I got like a little bit older and like started going to therapy and I was like, hang on, I used to go out to get fucked. Like, if someone said to me now, do you want to go to a party? I'd be like, yeah, because I want to connect with, I want to have good conversations, I want to have good connections with someone, I want to go enjoy some good food. But it just wasn't, the two just weren't together back then. It was just a different perspective of what partying meant.
I've heard it a million times over the years when people say, well, why would I drink unless I want, if the only reason for me to drink is to get fucked.
That was me, yeah.
I don't enjoy the taste. Whereas now I'm like, savour a glass of red wine with dinner. But yeah, it was, no, I'm going to go out to drink to get pissed. And that was the goal. And you achieved your goal day in, day out, right? But tell me a bit more about your experience of the party culture from what you've lived.
Yeah, so like, just like that typical lad culture sort of thing.
Which is?
I played football, so I've always had a relatively big social group, and it was uncommon for us to go out on a weekend less than probably like 15, 20 people at times. So like
that's a lot of people.
Yeah. A lot of it, like I say, a lot of it was associated with football. So friendship groups that I grew up with all stayed in the same area, so we were always really, really sociable with each other. We've known each other a long time, and you go out on a Friday after work. Like, so before I was a firefighter and now a coach, I was an electrician, and so it was like that real stereotype of sight Monday to Friday, straight in the boozer after work Friday, like Friday afternoon drinks, and you'd have like a couple of pints in there with your mates in your scruffs and your work gear, and it's like, right, lads, let's go home, quick shower, quick change, meet back down here after, and then you're getting in at fucking 6 a.m. after being on a sesh, and then you'd sleep it off until about 12, and then you go meet the lads to play football in the afternoon, and then the minute you'd finish football, you're then in the boozer, like, or your clubhouse or wherever you are, and it just kept going. And we had like a little bit of a running joke, but like, most of us were in relationships when we used to play football together, and all the girls were mates with each other as well. So it was like, we used to call them the wags, like fucking cringy, but it is what it is. And
Definite cringe.
Yeah,
moment.
but it's like, we used to go, like I say, we used to go out like 20, 30 strong, and it was great for a socialising thing. And don't get me wrong, like that party lifestyle, I had some amazing times. I've had some fucking brilliant nights out.
Yeah, I have.
But it got to a point where I created an alter ego, and that alter ego slowly took over. And then I didn't realise that the fun had stopped. Do you know what I mean? Like, I realised that I was doing it to get fucked up but I wasn't looking inside. I wasn't being self-aware as to why I was doing that. And like that alter ego for me was, we spoke previously about Sammy B.
Mm.
And I had kind of created him following a little bit of heartbreak. I wasn't sure how to get over it. And then like I think I was 24 at the time. And like I went out a lot, 18 to 24. And like getting on it and getting on the session stuff, that had a detrimental effect to that relationship. And it was one of the reasons why it ended in the end. But then 24 to like probably 30, just continuously lost a little bit of myself every time I went out, I think. Like, and that's the truth. Like,
what, so a part of yourself
almost
disappeared
like
every time that you went out and
yeah,
got bladdered? And...
Maybe not disappeared, but definitely got suppressed. Like when you start looking at like, so I'd go out knowing I wouldn't be Sam. I was going out to be Sammy B. And I knew that I could almost plan the night. Like I'd have a drink, and then I know it took a couple of like X amount to get to a certain level of confidence. And I was so insecure about a few things that I created such a false bravado and false confidence through getting on one. And then before I knew it, I couldn't go out without doing it. Like, to be Sammy B, to be the guy that I thought everybody liked, to be the guy that I thought everyone like respected, thought he was the funniest guy in the room, the best looking geezer in the room, I had to get fucked up. And then, yeah, like I say, like I forget half the night, like you've made really, really shit decisions. And then it's like, I talk about being on that carousel. I was like, this is my life. Everyone's doing it. Everyone gets fucked up. But when I looked around my social circle, I was instigating getting on one all the time.
Ah, okay. So and you were like the recruiter? Or...
Yeah, I was the one like always looking for an excuse to go out, right? And then it was night's nearly finished, and it's like, right, come back to my house. And then people are leaving your house at fucking 9 o'clock in the morning.
Mm.
And I was like, right, something's up. And then, like you say, the beer fear, like 2-3 days of anxiety after. Say that's on a Monday. By Thursday, you feel all right, didn't you? So it's like, okay, cool, back on it.
I just had a wave of anxiety listening to you talk then. I think it was because I was imagining what those sort of nights were like for me. And they weren't entirely free of a level of anxiety. It's just I was suppressing them or self-soothing them or medicating them with alcohol and other substances. And thinking back to it now, I think, God, that was to stay up for that length of time. And how do I word it? There was this sort of sense of dread that if it stopped, then I would have to eventually wake up to, one, the ramifications of what I put myself through the night before, and then two, all the anxiety and the shame and the guilt and the low self-worth would come up.
Yeah.
And it would be days of battling with myself with that again, and then I'd just repeat the very same thing.
Yeah, I mean, people have a short memory, don't they? Like, I know, like, fast forward to when, relatively recently, when the whole, like, the reason we're sat here, when like I created the new version of myself, if you like that was following a night where I made a really fucking shit decision. I lost a best mate. I pretty much lost my relationship that night, but then it continued for, probably 6 months after, because she wanted to support me and she saw that I was trying to make a change, stuff like that. But it's like, we spoke about you had doing like nearly 20 years of doing the same thing that was detrimental to your mental health. I did the same because it was just, like you say, normal. It was like, no one was calling me out on my shit, apart from, and if people did, I was just like, fuck off. I was like, everyone's doing it. But when I look back around my social circle, if somebody else is getting on one, but they're not hurting the people around them, they haven't got a problem. It's not being detrimental to their life, so it's probably not being that detrimental to their mental health. But when you can't wake up in the morning or whatever because through fear of thinking, fucking hell, what have I done now? Like, that has an impact on your mental health. Like, sitting with that guilt and shame through your choices. Like, I was the creator of my own chaos. So I was the creator of my own...
It was chaos.
It was awful, mate.
Yeah.
But I was the creator of my own negative impact on my mental health. And it's like, when I then decided, right, enough was enough, changing my ways, I learned about like I'm the creator, like you're a direct result of your past choices, right? Well, if that's the case, if all this negative shit that I did resulted in that negative outcome, it makes complete sense then if I can do positive shit, then it'll have a positive outcome, right?
Absolutely.
So, yeah, I think it's so easy to turn around and say, oh, that everyone was doing it, but not everyone's doing it to such a point, or like alcohol party, like perceiving that as what it is to have such a negative impact on your mental health. Like it doesn't, like we've said, we're not saying that a party lifestyle is a massive negative effect, because we can both name so many positives about it as well. But for me, I think it's that balance of looking at it and going, right, if the negative is outweighing the positive, for me, it was up here. There wasn't even a close fucking percentage. The shit I was doing when I was fucked up and on that party lifestyle scene, it was fucking me up, man.
And the fact that everyone's doing it is such a powerful point. If I had my time again, which I know I don't, but I've got a powerful belief that when you're young, especially, of course, you're led, aren't you, to a certain extent by what other people are doing.
Yeah,
your peer group, society at large. Partying was just a thing that you did.
Yeah.
You know, if you wanted to have fun, you went to the pub or you went to a club and you got pissed.
Yeah. We spoke about any situation. Like, did something bad happen today?
I'll have a drink.
Get on one.
Yeah.
And then that would end up in a party.
Yeah.
Because you'd be like, I want to forget about that.
Or did something good happen today? Yay, let's go celebrate.
Yeah.
But everyone else is doing it. The biggest thing for me is there was a part of me, I did know that I didn't necessarily want to be drinking as regularly and partying as regularly, but I overrode that and just carried on. And it was because if I didn't do what everyone else was doing, I don't think I'd see anyone. I'd risk standing out or not fitting in more. So if I went against the grain or against the current, and people were like, well, why aren't you coming out? That's weird.
Yeah.
I'd be like, because I've had a bit of a conversation. Oh, fine, okay, I'll come out. And then when you've had a few and you get on it, of course your inhibitions are lowered, and then you're like, well, yeah, I don't know why I didn't want to do this. It's great, rah rah rah.
Yeah.
But then it's insidious. It creeps up. You don't start from going out and testing the water in you know, the sort of party arena, and then get to, oh, this is really impacting on my mental health. Yeah. It's a journey.
Yeah, of course it is. Yeah.
And it's only really in hindsight you can look back and go, yeah, do you know what? I can see key moments where that really started to impact on my mental health. But it's not the party lifestyle, air quotes, or the party culture. It's my attitude. It was who I was within that made the difference. I abused it, and then so it kind of had a negative effect. But if I think about myself now, I don't abuse it, and I don't people please. I don't feel the need to do what everyone else is doing, and I know I can go out and have a good time without having a drink. And I've never been embarrassed about throwing some shapes on the dance floor. So I've always been like, yeah, let's go out, connect, have fun, have a laugh, be around lovely people. It's just I don't need the crutch anymore. But I used to need the crutch because I didn't feel good enough.
Yeah.
I had to do what everyone else was doing.
Yeah. And like we obviously we associate drink, partying, and we're not saying that you have to go sober. Like I think we've already mentioned that. But would you say, so if I said to you now, do you think the party lifestyle, what's a party lifestyle to you now? Like, how a party?
If I was to conjure up an image in my head.
Old.
It's going to look very different. It might involve bed at 9. Let me think. I mean, I'm to conjure it up in my head, I would have to throw out a few stereotypes, but it would be glad rags on, pub Friday, Saturday, Sunday, clubbing, drinking, rolling in at 3, 4, 5 in the morning.
Yeah, so that was then. But like now.
Oh, now.
So like James Penny is going to a party. Right? This Saturday night, you're going out. Well, party's on.
I'd go out. Do you remember where it used to go out later?
Yeah.
Because no one was out.
No.
So if you went out at 7, you'd be Billy No Mate, sat in a corner, be like, oh, there's no music in the club yet. The club's not even like...
DJ ain't even turned up.
No, DJ's not there. Now
Got free entry though.
yeah, got the stamp. Oh, we're in.
And 2 wickets for a fiver.
Exactly, we're in. Let's just sit in a corner and wait for everyone else to arrive. But now,
PKs, I think they were not wickets. Too
well,
expensive.
both of those are absolutely vile things, really. If I think about them.
Sugar, that fairy
Oh, they're so disgusting, but they were so popular. For me now, it involves food.
Nice.
Earlier, as in going out early, sort of 6, 7-ish, a few glasses of wine, good quality chat and conversation. And, you know, there may be an occasion where you go to a pub after and you have a couple more. But if it's getting to about 11-ish for me, I'm like, ooh, yeah, that's bedtime.
I'm just going to press this button.
Press it.
The logo.
Oh, no, we've changed. We've got a different one.
We've got a different one now. Oh, dear.
This is just another great example. There we go.
See, no one said this podcasting was easy. But
So, yeah, for me, there isn't it's partying is not the word I would use. Do I love a dance? Yeah, I mean, I'll dance in the kitchen. Cooking food.
I think there's a TikTok account to be made there.
Well, I mean, I might consider that in the future.
James Penny and his glad rags come out for a night with him.
I mean, my house is it's a front door, hallway straight into a kitchen, so it's just one massive long sort of runway.
Oh, okay.
Or catwalk.
Now we're delving
so
into something
occasionally, you know, after I've finished the day, I'll pop the music on, I'll cook the dinner, and I'll be strutting around using the full length between the front door and the end of the kitchen.
Yeah.
But in my mind, the feeling there is better than the feeling where I was out drinking and doing God knows what.
Yeah.
That is the essence of partying for me. Is am I feeling good and happy?
So it's that perception.
And I don't need alcohol for that.
Yeah.
I can generate that feeling just by putting on a song and just dancing around my living room. So yeah, it has changed for me a lot. Unrecognizable to the version I was in my 20s.
Yeah.
What about you? How would you define partying as Sam at 33?
Yeah. Yeah, I still think that, like, my perception of if I was going to a party, like, obviously I'm sober, so I've been to like an event or something like that you would class as like a party, and I don't drink anymore, but I've had better times not drinking, and not because I know that I'm not going to put myself in the situations that I did. So like a party to me now is party to me in my old time would be one goal to get obliterated, fucked up.
Yeah.
Later find out through therapy that, you know, that's because of all my insecurities and I'm trying to self-soothe and mask and all that sort of stuff. But now, if I'm going to a party, it's because I want to spend time with good people. It's because I want to spend time with people that I care about. It's that I want to make new connections with people. I can't dance for shit, mate, when I'm sober. And
I don't believe that.
Maybe I need to come round your house and you teach me a few moves.
How's your hip flexibility?
Oh yeah, my hips are all right.
Okay, that's good. There's hope.
Like when I was used to get on one, I used to think I could dance. I love dancing. I'm just fucking shit. But, that's actually one of my goals this year, to learn to dance properly. So if there's anyone listening to this that can teach like salsa or something, drop me a DM because I'm really interested. But
now that I'd pay to watch.
Wait, look, mate,
this is day one of Sam's salsa class.
I want to learn the guitar this year, and I want to learn salsa. So basically, I'm preparing myself to move to like
there's a reality TV
Latin
show
America.
in that.
And basically, Sam does Argentina and like whatever.
Hey, I see a few documentaries on the horizon. Yeah.
But yeah, mate, partying to me now is like it's still got the same. Ironically, it's still got most of the same stuff that I used to do. I used to go to spend time with my friends. I used to go to events to celebrate things. But I lost sight of why I was originally there, because my only focus was to get on one. And then, like you say, your inhibitions go, your focus goes. My focus then went to my insecurities rising up, and my ego needed to be boosted by being the funniest guy in the room. Like, I'm not gay. I needed gay people to fucking fancy me because I just needed that boost. And like, that's so detrimental to my mental health, because if I didn't get it, I'd be like, why?
Well, it was external validation.
Yeah, I mean, that's literally been at the forefront of my mind every time I've been on one. But I was never self-aware to it. And so, yeah, Sam now, still the same reasons, just don't get fucked up anymore. So, yeah, I think
that's a powerful point, because I think what we're sort of edging towards in terms of how it might be better for people is that you can still have all the wonderful qualities of being around others and laughing and sharing moments, but just stay more conscious about how you're using a substance like alcohol.
All that part, or like how you perceive party lifestyle, like what are you using that party lifestyle for? Because like you said, you were using it for acceptance, to like try and fit in because you felt like you had to. I was doing it because I couldn't. I was doing it, getting fucked up to like soothe my insecurities, but I knew that there would always be people out. So I was like, well, I'm going to go to those places because it's okay to be fucked up in those. If everyone found out that I was fucking sat in my own house getting on one by myself every single weekend, they'd be like, you got a problem. But if you do it in a club, it's fucking fine.
Yeah, that's a really, really good point though, because it's socially accepted when we do it in a group.
Yeah.
But if we're isolated and on our own, engaging in drinking and other things, then that's a problem.
Yeah.
And that in itself is a problem.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Of course
that
it
it's
is,
acceptable. Society will endorse it and validate it if you are engaging with a big group of people. But it's just as damaging if left unattended. Like, I think you said it earlier, that it's not that the party lifestyle in itself is wrong.
No.
It's just be more conscious about how you're engaging in it.
Yeah.
Like, you are a person, you're a human being within that environment. How are you interacting with it? Are you just getting bladdered for this? Are you even listening to what anyone's saying? Are you even having fun?
Who are you in that?
Who are you in that? Are you presenting an authentic version of you, or a alter ego or a masked version of you?
Yeah.
And that to me that's not fun. That's not the essence of partying. No one's saying don't go out and have fun. God, I mean, who doesn't love to go out and laugh and share conversations and dance around like a total wally? You just don't need to drink so much or at all, depending on your point of view. I think it's about staying more conscious. I mean, I do have conversations with myself now. If I'm going to have a drink, I do ask myself, okay, I'm not going to be weird about it, but say in my head, okay, well, just before you do you want this drink because you really, really want to drink? Or is it because it's habit and you just think, oh, I'll just have a glass of wine, I'm stressed, I'm tired. Am I enjoying this? Am I savouring the taste? Am I just using it to silence an emotion? I just try and create a bit of a dialogue with myself and go, what are you intending to do today? How are you going to show up in this moment? I never say anymore, I'm going to get absolutely annihilated. Never say that anymore at all. It's all about, I'll go out and enjoy myself. And also about not being afraid to say, oh, I've had enough now, I'm going home.
Yeah.
That's a big thing. I don't even think or consider how other people might be disappointed or annoyed that I'm leaving early. If I'm done, I'm done.
Yeah. So like bringing it back to like just the actual lifestyle and that party culture as well. Obviously, those questions that you ask yourself, you're saying about using alcohol, but replace alcohol just with the party lifestyle. So, am I attending these things to hide the fact that I don't feel good about myself? Am I attending these things to give myself some sort of form of self-worth? Like, ask yourself those questions. If you're attending places because you feel you don't feel like you can be, you have to, then is there a reason for that? Like, and so like we're coming towards like the end of this like episode now, but if there was like, what do you want someone to take from this episode?
I think for me, it's about staying mindful and conscious about who you want to who you are showing up as in that situation, and if there is any sense that you are going into a particular event or gig or party where you are going to abandon yourself and go, fuck it, I don't care, I'd be asking myself a question. Do I want to do that? Because it's not about not having fun. It's not about not going out and enjoying yourself. But if I'm abandoning myself in that moment by just getting completely annihilated, that's not the kind of thing you can do.
No.
So to me, it's creating a conversation. Just check in with yourself momentarily. How am I feeling? What is likely to play out here? Okay, they're asking me to go out tonight. I'm tired. I've said yes, maybe because I feel like I would like to go and see them, but to do that, I'm going to need to have a few. Well, maybe you could say no. Let's do it another time when I'm feeling more rested. Does that make sense?
Yeah, of course it does,
Just checking in a bit more regularly and saying, well, do I need to go out and get completely blotted, or can I go out and have a couple, which I know not everyone can for different reasons, but if you can moderate what you drink, then for me, I think that's a healthier outlook. So just staying more conscious and being more mindful and having a brief conversation with yourself before you engage in anything and say, well, how do I want to be in this situation?
Yeah. No, I like that. I wrote that a lot.
What about you?
Yeah, I think if someone's listening to this, like, if I was 26, 27, maybe a little bit earlier, and I listened to this sort of podcast and I heard someone talking about the sort of stuff that I did, I'd resonate and I'd be like, okay, maybe I'm doing something quite similar. So if someone's listening to this and they go, hang on, I'm doing the same shit. I'm doing the thing because I've got insecurities. Like I need to be this person in that situation. Like, there's two versions of me. You know, when Monday to Friday when I'm at work, I'm this person, but then when I go out, I'm completely changed. Like, is that me?
I'd be questioning that.
Yeah. And like it got to a point of mine where I didn't know who the fuck I was. And like, I'm fortunate I've got so many good friends in my life still. And like, you know, we've spoken about that party lifestyle being both positive and negative. But some of those friends are only with me now because of all the positives. Like, they were like, you know, you weren't a dickhead all the time.
No.
But, you know, there was a point where you were. So, yeah, I think if someone's to take one thing away from this, it's just ask yourself that one question, like, why are you partying? Is that balance of positive? Are the positives outweighing the negatives? And if it's flip reverse like it was for me, maybe have a think about why and what you can do. Because there's loads of help out there now. Like, there's so much help about opening up. And like, that's why we started this podcast. You know, at 26 years old, as a young single lad that plays football with all his fucking lads mates, I weren't turning around going, oh, by the way, lads, I only get fucked up because I'm really insecure about myself and I feel like I've got to be the class clown. I feel like I've got to be the funny one. I feel like I've got to be the best looking geezer in the room. I wasn't going to do that. But fortunately, stuff like this, podcast, and the message is getting out there, and that's why we created Flex Your Feelings, right? Because it doesn't matter who you are, just fucking talk about it. If you recognise anything in yourself that you're not quite happy with, start talking.
And I think things are changing. I'm noticing more and more and more now that people are actually having more conversations with themselves and others about how much they're consuming, maybe in terms of alcohol, or how much they are people pleasing, how much they are abandoning themselves, and they're reassessing the situation. And a lot more people now than ever are saying to me, oh, I don't drink anymore. You know, I'm sober now.
Yeah.
And it seems to be becoming a much more healthy and people are much more open to the idea of saying, actually, do I need alcohol or not?
Yeah.
And just one example, because I know we're running out of time, but I went to see friends in Wales last year, and somebody that I associate with always getting wasted said, oh no, I'm not drinking anymore. I'm that's it. I'm not, it doesn't agree with me. I don't know why I ever did. I don't feel good afterwards, but I'm still engaging, still having fun, still present, still laughing and joking, just minus the self-medication. Yeah. So yeah, I think, you know, we're getting better at having these conversations with ourselves and others about whether or not we need to just jump into the party lifestyle without having a conversation first.
Yeah. That's not us saying like every time you get asked to go out, second guess it. Like no.
Don't obviously
don't get like,
we don't want to overthink
don't
it.
misinterpret what we're saying here. We're just saying that coming from two people that unfortunately getting into that party lifestyle too much, almost relying on it. I know I did, and like it had a huge impact on my mental health. So yeah, Do you want to let people know how if they want to get in touch?
I do actually.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to mention.
Slide into James Penny's DMs.
I'm going to mention Instagram, and our handle is at Flex Your Feelings Podcast.
Yep.
And you can get in touch should you want to comment. If you've got any suggestions, thoughts, feelings about what we're doing here, we'd love to hear from you.
Even if they've got their own story and they want to get on as a guest. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like, we've spoken
We are very welcoming,
very welcome,
aren't we?
Yeah, like we'll take the piss out of you, and but that's the way to make people feel comfortable. But yeah,
Absolutely.
like hopefully there's loads of people that listen to this and they can really resonate with everything we talk about. Like not everybody's going to resonate with every subject, but.
And we've not covered as much as we could because this is a huge topic, and we could come back to this time and time again.
Yeah, and 100%, mate. So,
but it's been a pleasure chatting with you today, Sam.
It's also been a pleasure.
Thanks for your contributions.
Yeah,
and I will see you next time on Flex Your Feelings.
Catch you later on Flex Your Feelings.
Take care.
Take it easy, mate.